Hello, good morning, ladies. I'm sorry for the late night, early morning readings, but for the stateside folks. But this is when I have the house completely to myself, so the energy is like mine. It's all mine. Oh, God. So I wanted to talk about something that happened, I think it was last week, when I wasn't feeling well. I was getting I was getting spiritually attacked like a motherfucker last week. So it was like spiritual assault mixed with physical assault mixed with, whatever. And it was oddly specific. It was oddly specific because I was being attacked by someone had sent an entity to me, and it was like trying to like suffocate me or drown me somehow. It was like a mixture of like suffocation and drowning, which is weird because they're like suffocation, no breathing. It's like no air, right? Which is the same as drowning, but drowning adds the extra effect of like water getting sucked up into your lungs. But I don't know, it was weird. It was like it felt like I was drowning, but it also felt like I was suffocating, and I don't know how that works. But it was like water and air energy being thrown at me. And it was this weird entity in my dream, and I'm trying to remember the specifics of it. But I know it was a spiritual attack, and I know that it was an entity being sent to me because I would wake up right before I would die, basically in a dream, like I would suffocate. And then when I'd finally get myself to go back to sleep, it would come back again. And when I realized what was going on, I started fighting back, I dismantled the entity. Energetically, I dismantled it. Now, the actual dismemberment, energetic dismemberment anyway, of an entity coming at you in the spirit realm is all fine and good. Talk about it like I'm just whatever. But for me, it is. It's just whatever. I've had spiritual attacks thrown at me since I was knee-high to a grasshopper, So I'm not worried about that. Yeah, I see I'm not the only one. Guten Morgen. So, I've talked about this before on this channel, but obviously I take all my videos down. So it's like a new topic, I put I'm starting to try and practice using tags on my videos. So I tagged all the decks that I'm using. I call this Angel Deck. I know it has a name, but I don't know what it is. But most people know what deck this is. Just look up Angel Deck and this will probably pop up. But the other ones I've listed, this is the Thoth Tarot, Golden Art Nouveau Tarot, Medicine Cards by Jamie Sams and David Carson. And this is the Rana George Lenormand artwork by Callie L. French. Okay. The illustrations on the medicine cards are by Angela Wernicka. I'm not sure. And the illustrations on this are from somebody else, a woman as well. This one is Julia F. Massaglia. Julia F. Massaglia. I think it's Italian. Massaglia. I mean, it would make sense. I love the gold. Right, Bridget? Okay, so I guess I'm starting with this one. I don't know. Anyway. So let's split the deck. We've got the Star and the Queen of Cups here. Okay. You can't really see, but I can. One of the things, now I'm burning myrrh right now, which is used, in medical practices. It's not confirmed. Obviously, they haven't done any studies because that would mean that there's competition for the pharmaceutical companies. But it's been used for, centuries and centuries and centuries as a healing thing for anything from diarrhea and parasites to all sorts of shit. Anyway, it's burned at funerals. It's burned memorials. It's burned in churches. It helps to enhance meditative and spiritual experiences. It's linked to ancient wisdom. It's got deep-rooted spiritual... did I spill myself? I finally not... This is why I wear black all the time, because I'm constantly spilling and getting stains all over myself, and then I try to wear color, and here I go staining myself again. You just can't take me anywhere. So, at least definitely not in white. I'll just make it dirty in 2 seconds. So, when it comes to spiritual warfare, spiritual attacks, there are a couple of things that you can do. Now, besides the actual practice of removing entities or destroying entities or banishing them or actually dealing with the energy set at you specifically, there are things that you can do to not only reduce what comes at you, right, but to greatly limit what ends up reaching you in the first place. So whatever came at me last week had to have been done by more than one person, first of all, right? And if it was one person, they're a soul gobbler, okay? Like, that was multi-energy usage. That was not one battery. That was multiple batteries all hooked up together to manifest whatever the fuck that was. Okay? Now, if I was energetically weaker, so I was weakened by the physical sickness, and then they came and attacked me because, and they had to attack me in large numbers. So here's the thing. And the reason why they had to do that is because I'm going to talk about spiritual cleanliness. Now, a lot of readers right now are talking about that. You got to keep your energy clean. You need spiritual baths. You need to do this. You need to do that, right? There's things you can do to manifest a cleaner aura with like rituals and things like that, right? Like your incense and your prayers and your manifestation diaries and whatever, right? But there's actually something more physically tangible and less spooky or witchy or spiritually manifested. I don't know what else to say about that. It's less on the spiritual religious end, and it's more on the day-to-day thing. So, we talk about solutions, and it's like, okay, well, that's great, but how do I translate spiritual instructions into a real world reality solution? How do I clean my energy? How do I keep myself protected besides just burning a stick and, lighting some candles and saying some words or prayers or whatever, right? And there's a bunch of stuff you can do along those lines. And I'm not discounting any of that. I'm saying you do that along with, doing all the spiritual stuff, like the incense and the candles and the, the ritualistic commentary, whatever it is for you, whether it's prayer, affirmations, meditations, whatever it is. If you do all that without the actual work that I'm going to explain to you, it's like having do you guys remember what DVD cases are? Does anybody know what a DVD is? It's like having a DVD case without the DVD in it. It looks good on the outside, looks like you got what you need, but then it's devoid of the actual substance within it that you're looking for. Or you could say VHS tape holder, VHS tape case. that was as big as these, right? Well, actually, it was a little fatter, a little like it was smaller like this, but it was fatter. Talking to the younger generations, trying to explain that. Anyway, what is the DVD of the protection? Minding your words. Minding how you communicate to yourself, both internally, how you communicate to yourself externally, right? Like if you're talking to yourself in the mirror, how you communicate to others around you, okay? Every day you can work toward cleaning up how you speak to yourself, whether internally, externally, or whether you speak to others internally or externally. If you're having negative thoughts about somebody else, you're bringing that energy into your space because you are the one feeling the negative thoughts. If you're having negative thoughts about yourself, you are a breeding ground for negative energy. And what does that mean? That means that you are now a magnet to the fuck shit. It's like having a door that's like a barrier between you and all the fuck shit. And when you have negative thoughts, or you're like nasty or jealous or greedy or hateful or, you know, even self-deprecating, talking badly about yourself, it's like you unlock the door and then you just throw it wide open and say, come on in, negative shit. Come on in. You're welcome in my house. You're welcome in my energy field. You're basically a magnet for the fuck shit. You know? So when you put negative comments on stuff, right? And I'm not talking about like calling out things that are wrong or bad. Like if you see somebody and they're beating up somebody else and you go up and you say, hey, what the fuck are you doing? You're an asshole. Stop hitting them. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you see somebody and they're just playing on, you know, with their instruments, and you walk up to them and you say, wow, you know, couldn't get a real job. Just jealous, hateful, negative shit. Or you look in the mirror and you go, man, I wish I could, you know, lose that last few pounds. I'm really ugly. Or you watch something online and you go, man, I wish I looked like them. Or I wish I had their lifestyle. Or I wish I had, you know, I'm so broke, it's disgusting. Or nobody likes me. Or everything goes wrong for me. All these negative thoughts and words that you speak out loud, that you type down, right? Man, she's really ugly. She needs to get this or that. Wow, she's a horrible mother, blah, 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 blah. It's like, okay, well, first of all, that's not helpful. You're not protecting anyone, and you're not calling anybody out on actual ethical, moral ground. You're just being an asshole, and you're just being hateful and jealous and mean and, expressing the negativity you feel inside, which is unlocking and opening the door for fuck shit to come in. So you start talking all this shit and you say all this negative stuff like nobody loves me, my life is worthless, da, da, da. You do that, you're calling it in. And now you've opened the door. So if somebody does have a beef with you and somebody does not like you, it's so much easier for them to throw a stink bomb into your house because you've opened the door. They don't even have to break a window. They don't even have to break in. They don't even need a 4-man team to try and infiltrate your house, your spiritual house. You've opened the door. You've let all the fuck shit in. They can come in and take whatever they want. They can come in and trash your spiritual place. They can come in and throw fucking stink bombs at you because you basically opened the door and let them in. Same thing with your actions. Now that saying, actions speak louder than words. If you think the words are bad, you do fuck shit action-wise. You fuck people over and you hurt them and you're jealous and you lie and you cheat and you steal and you're, just malicious in nature toward people. Now, I'm not talking about stealing bread because you're starving or, because somebody else is starving. I'm not saying, never lie ever, because sometimes you have to lie to protect yourself or protect the people you love. There are instances in which you use, that's why these are tools that are at our disposal. This is why we have free will. Because sometimes people lie, cheat, steal, manipulate, coerce, do all this abusive shit, and you have to be able to defend yourself and protect yourself and others. Okay? Somebody comes and starts beating on your dog, and what are you going to do? Please stop hitting my dog, sir. No, I'm probably going to pick up a fucking shovel. I'm probably going to hit you in the back with it. Hold on. Okay, now I'm not saying go around and, hurt people. I'm saying, the reason we have free will and we have all these negative tools at our disposal is not to go around and hurting people, it's to protect yourself. Okay? You see somebody coming and they're trying to attack a little child or a little pet or someone who's defenseless, or a man coming running after trying to abuse a woman, or a woman trying to run after and abuse a man, and they say, hey, did he come this way? Did she come this way? Did that child or that dog or the cat or whatever, did they come this way? And you say, oh no, I don't know what you're talking about. And you lie to protect them. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about maliciously lying to destroy somebody's reputation, to hurt them, to destroy your own reputation, which some people do that, to hurt yourself, right? When you talk badly, right? Or when you do bad intentionally because you're jealous, because you're self-destructive, because you're hateful, because you're scared. That's a big one. People do all sorts of destructive shit when they're scared. They went that way. Hurt them, don't hurt me. Okay, when you do that shit, you are not only opening the door to fuck shit, you're stepping outside, putting a sign on your lawn saying, please bring the fuck shit. I am open for business. So you think the words are bad, unlocking the door and opening it to the fuck shit. When you do stupid shit to hurt other people or hurt yourself, you're basically putting a sign on the lawn saying, please come in, hurt me. Please, sir, more. May I have another? And then people walk around and go, I don't understand why everything bad is happening to me. I don't understand why everything good happens to that person, and I can't have anything good happen to me, and my world is over, and this and that and the other. And it's like, why are you confused? Where is the confusion? Well, I don't understand. They can do horrible things and they don't have any repercussions. That's what you think. You have no idea what they're going to go through because of the fuck shit that they did. You also don't know why they did what they did. Them and who they are and what they're up to is none of your GD business. It's none of your fucking business. What is your business is your side of the street and how you keep your energy and your actions and your shit clean. Okay? That's what's important. Now, if you want to add a layer of protection, not only do you not do the fuck shit, and not only do you not talk badly about yourself or others or cause mayhem and nonsense with your words and your actions, right? But if you want to really protect your house, you not only lock your door, you keep your door closed and locked it with your good words and your good intentions for yourself and others. You don't put any signs on your front yard. You take all that fuck shit out by doing, not doing bad, right? You're like, I'm not doing any bad, so there's no signs on my yard saying, come fuck with me. But if you really want to spiritually protect yourself, you start doing the opposite of bad. You start doing good. And you don't do it for ratings. You don't do it for clicks. You don't do it for likes. You don't do it for views. You don't do it for affirmation from another. Oh, wow, good job, Susie. You're a kind person. Hey, look at me. I'm giving $1 to the homeless. Hey, look at me. I'm helping my friend. Hey, look at, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about on your day-to-day basis, even if you're not giving something to someone physically, maybe you're giving to someone emotionally or mentally. Not only are you praying for yourself, but you're praying for others, especially your enemies. Please, may my enemies recognize the God within themselves and the God within me and the God within everyone. May my enemy know peace and remove their fucking fuck shit ways. Stop being a dick. It's basically stop being a dick prayers for yourself and others, And then you can also go a step further and you see somebody struggling and you help them out. Even if you see your enemy struggling, maybe this kid in school was laughing at you or at work and they're talking shit about you and being a dick. And maybe no one's around and some horrific thing happens and they fall or machinery falls on them or something bad happens to them, right? And they're pleading with you for help. Now, energetically, you would be well within your right to keep things neutral and walk away and just say, let them fucking deal with their fuck shit, right? And in certain circumstances, maybe that's the case. However, at least the first couple times, right? when nobody's watching, that person falls down, they drop all their bags and their books, even after they were laughing at you and talking shit about you, and you turn around and you say, let me help you up. Let me help you pick up your books and your bag. You okay? Do you need me to call someone? No, fuck you. Okay. You're welcome. And you walk away. It's not about them appreciating you. It's not about them being nice to you in the future, because they'll probably still be a dick. It's about you building your energetic brownie points. It's about you building your karma points up in the space that really matters, which is the ethereal realm. All the energy that surrounds you, that is within you. The God within you, recognizing the God within everyone else. And treating one another as you would want to be treated. If you were in their shoes, how do you expect somebody not to be a dick? And how do you expect somebody to want to be kind and change and be a good person if they have no reason to? And when you're given an opportunity to give them a reason to be kind, you don't. All it's going to do is solidify their stinking thinking. Oh, see, they stepped over me. They couldn't even help me. Fuck them. This justifies how I treated them. Turning the other cheek, they make it sound like a weakness. Jesus was like, hey, when you get slapped on one cheek, turn him and give him the other one. People view that as a sign of weakness. Like, why would I let you slap me? And sometimes you don't, right? Maybe you give them one cheek and you say, hey, don't hit me. You give them the other cheek, you say, don't hit me. And they take it too far and then you defend yourself. But here's the thing. You can keep turning your cheek. And that is not a sign of weakness. People are always like, okay, so I'm not going to use that as an example. Turning the other cheek is not a weakness. It's a strength. Your abuse, your name calling, your negative witchcraft, right? Your negative prayers, your negative affirmations in my direction do not control me and have no weight on my life or my reality. Turning the other cheek is showing your strength and the other person's weakness. Oh, you have to hit me? You got to be a big man? You're going to hit me? You got to be a big man? You got to be a big woman? You got to hit me? Not only am I strong enough to take one ear slaps, I'm strong enough to take two. Fuck you. Turning the other cheek is not a sign of weakness. Turning the other cheek is a sign of strength. That is why so few people are able to do it, because most people are fucking weak. Right? To the point where some generations are taught by their elders, make sure you hit them first so you get at least one good lick in. So not only are you not turning the other cheek, but you're making sure to hit them first. It's like, yeah, because that breaks cycles. Great. But, I understand there's a lot of abuse of power in the world. There's a lot of abuse of energy that will view you as weak if you do turn the other cheek, and they'll take it as a sign that they can use and abuse you. No, I'm not saying take the abuse and take the use. If you can't walk away and you can't get away and you've turned the other cheek as many times as you've had cheeks, there is nothing wrong with self-defense and putting people in their fucking place. I'm not promoting anything. I'm just saying there's a time and a place. Okay? But we're talking about spiritual self-defense. Spiritual self-defense requires a clean vessel. And I'm trying to explain to you how to cleanse your vessel. If you have any major regrets, if you've hurt someone, and there's a way for you to make amends with that person or their future generations in some way, you should check and do that. Right? Even if you don't tell them, 9 times out of 10, don't even say that you're doing it for them. If you know that they go to a coffee shop every day and you're just trying to make your own energy clear and clean, but you don't want to deal with them, maybe what you did was, not great. You go to a local coffee shop they go to all the time, and you put money on it, and you say, look, whenever this person comes in, can you give them a gift card for, however much? Maybe you see them struggling and you do something behind the scenes. You don't even put your name on it. You just say, Good Samaritan, and you don't take credit for it. It's not about anybody in the physical reality knowing what you did. It's about you and the God within you clearing out the heaviness of your soul. It has nothing to do with anybody else. If you created an atmosphere of negativity towards someone, you can clear that up. Maybe you don't even physically do something for them. Maybe you just start sending them love and light, and requesting forgiveness from yourself more than anything, right? So we got the Star card here, and we got the Queen of Cups. She's not wearing anything. She's barely got the robe around her. She is powerful energetically. She is extremely powerful, and she's extremely protected. She doesn't need to wear a bunch of armor. Her soul is her armor. She cleans her soul. Look at the water in the jugs. A lot of times you'll see the star card and she's pulling energy from the ethers and she's putting it into, it's like transformation and pouring into her reality. And then you got the Queen of Cups here, which is emotional intelligence. This is where that prayer comes from. Forgive them, Father, they know not what they do. People who abuse, people who use, people who cheat and steal and lie on purpose and insidiously and with fear or hatred or jealousy or greed or any of these things, gluttony in their hearts, right? Any of this covetous kind of, anybody who does those things, they have no idea how dirty and how they are emptying their souls. And they're getting really heavy energetically. The more negative you do, the harder it is going to be for you to come out of that. Okay? A lot of times, the more damage you do, the more twisted energetically you get, the more likely it is that you'll turn into like a heavy fucking ghost. Right? You'll turn into an energetic demon. Right? Doomed to be tortured for eternity. And it's all self-manifested. You look at these energies that are going around hurting kids and thinking that they're not going to, suffer any consequences. They're not going to be able to come back from that damage. Their energetic power is nil. It's like drinking Monster energy drinks or any kind of energy drink. Sorry. It's any energy drink. And you're drinking them and it's keeping you awake and it's keeping you getting your work done and you're just on top of the world and no one can beat your scores and blah, 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 blah. And then, you wake up one day and your kidneys are fucking shot. And you don't even drink alcohol. Well, you're going to need a kidney or a liver transplant or some crazy shit. Energetically, that's what these people are doing. Well, it doesn't matter because this world is gonna, it's nothing's permanent and, live your life and whatever. Okay. Energy can neither be created nor destroyed. It can be transferred, transformed, it can be broken up, it can be put together, but it can't be destroyed. It can't be created or destroyed. That's why everybody has this God idea of creation. There has to be this external great force to be able to manifest energy, not just take it from one place and redistribute it in another way or transform it into some form or fashion. Right? You take it with you. Doesn't matter if this world explodes and you're just this energy particle. The heaviness goes with your soul energy. You can't escape yourself. You can escape everybody and everything else, but you cannot escape yourself. You cannot escape the God within you. So, someone comes at you with a spiritual attack. Many someones come at you with a spiritual attack. They try to send some kind of weird energy at you. They try to fuck with you in some way or another, right? Try to send an attachment to you. Try to attach something negative to you. Try to do something nasty to you. Let me tell you, I've had a lot of things done to me in the physical world. Physical reality world shit. Not just like, sending me negative shit. I've had people try to fucking end me. Okay? My light irritates a lot of people's demons. It's no joke. I listen to the God within me. I follow my intuition. My angels, my guides, my spirits, both dark and light. I lean and I am protected. I lean on and I am protected by. Because if I see a darkness hurting, I try to help it. If I see a light hurting, I try to help it. My kindness is non-discriminatory. Now, there are some things that I can't help. There are some things that I can't do. Obviously, everything has limitations. I'm not a superhuman, super person. I'm just an everyday average person. I just put the work in, which is something every single one of you can do. You can all put the work in. And I would start by minding how you speak to yourself, minding how you then speak to others, minding how you think about yourself, minding how you think about others, minding what you do to yourself, minding what you do to others. And then when you're feeling pretty good about those things, take it a step further and try to do good for yourself. Be kind to yourself, love on yourself, and do the same for others. You see a little creature trying to cross the road. You don't run it over because you're in a hurry. You stop the fucking car, you put on your blinkers, and you help it cross the road. If you're scared, get a big stick or ask the person who's pissed off behind you to get out of their car and help you. Otherwise, it's going to take longer. You need to move. Honk, honk, honk. You need to get out of your fucking car and help me move it then if you want me to go faster. I have more control over my energetic reality than most people do because of all the work that I've put in. There's no quick fix. There's no elixir. I'm not some superhuman thing. I'm not better or worse than anybody else. I'm just a human. I've fucked up. I've done good. I've done bad. I've done all sorts of things in my life. I've experienced all sorts of things. Good has been done to me. Bad has been done to me. I get back up. I process the fucking pain. And I don't let it change who I am at my core. That's my flex. That's me turning the other cheek. You don't get to dictate whether or not I'm a douchebag or I'm a good person. I get to dictate that. That's me turning the other cheek. It's not a physical thing. Not usually. It's not a physical thing for me. It's a spiritual thing. It's a spiritual thing. A lot of people have like spiritual rabies. They can't even control themselves. But God forbid you let them bite you and infect you with their nastiness. That's why if you hear somebody talking a bunch of shit about themselves or about you, you can tolerate it as long as you can, but at some point you got to turn it off. You don't read it, don't listen to it, don't watch it, just don't engage. You don't need to be infected with their spiritual rabies. And don't be upset if people block you or cut you out because they don't want to be infected by your spiritual rabies. If you're just being, talking badly about yourself or badly about others, it doesn't matter who you're talking badly about. If you're speaking negativity into the universe, it's going to close a lot of good doors and open a lot of bad ones. Protecting yourself doesn't mean putting on layers and layers of armor and blocking people out of your life, turning into a shell of growing hard and cold. I'm able to be open and loving and kind with people. I'm also able to put the energetic fucking smackdown on people. My armor is coming from within. It's not an external thing. I don't harden my heart because I've been hurt before. My heart is open. Does that mean I've never been hurt? No. Does it mean I'm weak? No. It means I've turned the other cheek and I've used that energy that they've sent to me, because energy can neither be created nor destroyed. I use that energy that's being sent to me and I transform it and I utilize it for my own healing, my own power. If they're energetically sloppy enough to be destroying pieces of their soul and sending out pieces of their soul with their hateful, jealous, fearful actions, words, feelings, thoughts, whatever, well, I'm going to take that energy and I'm going to transform it for myself. Someone does something shitty to me, I'm going to laugh about it on my fucking channel. I'm going to talk about it with my friends and family. I'm going to call people out. You send me negative energy, I'm not going to curl up in a ball and live in fear. Oh my God, someone tried to attack me and kill me in my sleep and blah, blah, blah. I'm going to talk about that shit and I'm going to make fun of you and I'm going to take my power back. And then I'm going to sip my fucking coffee, play with my cards, clean my house, go on with my goddamn life. Yes, I said goddamn. Because I'd be damned if you think that you can affect the God within me. God is within everyone and everything. How you treat others is how you treat yourself. How you treat yourself is how you treat others. And you want to destroy bits of your soul because somebody hurt your feelings? Because somebody fucking hurt your body? Because somebody tried to kill you? Because somebody took your innocence away? Because somebody took your essence away? Then you're letting them win. And I'm not a fan of letting people win. Not like that. I don't care if you're my family. I don't care if you're my friends. I don't care if you're my partner. I don't care if you're my husband. I don't care if you're my kid. If you hurt me, I'm not going to hurt you back. But I'll be damned if I don't tell everybody what the fuck you did and talk it out until I've taken my power back. Thoughts, words, actions. These are all powerful tools that lead to your destiny. And we have free will. You get to choose which way you want to go. You get to choose. Do you want to let what they did to you take so much control over you that it destroys decades of your life? And even if it did, now that you've heard this message, do you want to continue to allow it to do that to you? Or do you want to take your power back? Yeah, this person stole my inheritance. They stole my home. They stole my finances. They tricked me. They used me. They abused me. They physically assaulted me. They sexually assaulted me. They assaulted my children, my parents. I was hurt by my children or my parents or my partner or this or that. There's some horrific shit going on out there. But the moment you let them take your energy and do what they want with it, and you give over your power, they won on repeat. You want to know why I'm still able to laugh and talk shit and, when I talk about the things that I've been through, I wouldn't blame 90% of you for thinking that maybe it didn't even happen to me, because I don't act what I've been through. Why aren't you broken? Why aren't you scared of men? Why aren't you a lesbian at this point? Why aren't you, in prison for doing something back to them? Why aren't you, there's a lot of things that could have happened to me. A lot of things that could have happened to me. There's a lot of things that did happen to me. But they don't get my power. My power is from within. My power is from the God source within myself. And you may be able to hurt my feelings or piss me off or whatever because, I'm still human and I still have feelings. I'm not a fucking robot. And yeah, it hurts my feelings or it pisses me off or, maybe I say some mean shit or whatever. I'm still a human in response. But at the end of the day, I take my power back. Just because I was sexually assaulted or abused doesn't mean that I'm not going to have healthy sexual relationship with somebody who is healthy and kind and loving. Right? Just because somebody made fun of me in a classroom or beat me up in a school doesn't mean I'm never going to go learn again. Doesn't mean I'm never going to have friends. Doesn't mean anything to me. Because as far as I'm concerned, what they did is on them and their karma, and it's writing their Akashic records in such a way where it's going to take a fuck of a lot of work for them to fix their story. And I'm not going to let their fuck shit bleed into me and my life and my generational lineage. I've done a lot of work to clean up generational traumas. I've taken on a lot of fuck shit in my lifetime to break cycles so that my future generations don't experience that, don't have to go through that. Now, whether they're of my blood or not of my blood, future generations, the God within me is the God within everyone. Every child is our own. Every parent is our own. We're so busy trying to differentiate and separate and draw such thick lines between one another when the actual reality is our lines that we artificially draw in the sand mean nothing. Do not let one person's toxic experience create a toxic experiential ripple in the universe and fucking bleed into your reality. Now, maybe it takes a little longer to recover from certain traumas, But if somebody harms you, they've lost the right to that story. Don't go telling everybody that I hit you. Don't go telling everybody that I cheated on you. Don't go telling everybody this or that. Well, if you don't want everybody to know about it, that means you're ashamed of it and you probably shouldn't have fucking done it in the first place. And since you did it to me, that means that I am now in charge of my own story and my own narrative, and I will talk about whatever the fuck I want to until I'm feeling better and I've processed it out and I can go back to laughing about how stupid you were for thinking that it was okay for you to treat me like that when I've been nothing but kind and good to you. Sometimes trauma rears its ugly head too. Why am I talking about all this? Because it has everything to do with spiritually protecting yourself. You have to keep your energy clean. And if you're focused on other people hurting you or having hurt you in the past or potentially hurting you in the future, you are unlocking, you are opening the door, and you are putting out a sign. If you want to protect yourself and you want to have a really strong fence around your energetic yard, not only do you need to close your door by speaking and thinking clean about yourself and others, you need to do right by yourself and others. Make sure that sign in the yard, that's not there saying, come fuck with me. Take that sign down. But then going a step further and having a really solid energetic fence is going out of your way to be kind and good and set the example when no one's watching, when no one's expecting. Especially when people are expecting the obvious. You're well within your right to kick me. I fell down and I dropped all my books. I've been nothing but nasty to you. I've been giving you swirly whirlies. I've been making fun of you in class and giving you wedgies and making fun of you online and ruining your girlfriend, boyfriend experience and making fun of you. And you're well within your right to kick me right now. You're well within your right to stick your thumb in my wound. Why are you helping me up? Why are you being kind to me? I'm not being kind to you for you. I'm being kind to me I'm being kind to myself by being good to you. You're an asshole. And I am well within my right to kick you and shove my thumb in your wound. But I'm not an asshole. I am not a garbage human being, and I'm not taking my trauma out on you. Turning the other cheek is a strength, not a weakness. Now give me your hand. Let me help you up. Let me help you get all your books together. And then you can go fuck yourself. Right? It's like, you can still maintain your boundaries. You don't have to go, oh, well, it's okay. It's fine that you're an asshole to me. You don't have to do all that. If you don't want to. I mean, you can if you want to. I mean, if someone's been torturing me, I'm not going to go out of my way to be kind, and I'm not going to be so like loving with them while I help them, but I will still fucking help them. It doesn't matter if you're a dick. I'll still help you up. Chances are you're treating me like shit because something in your life is shitty. And you know what? That's not my fucking problem. You're making it my problem by being an asshole. And I should leave you there stuck on the floor. And I should kick you. I should kick you in the fucking head. You're such a dick. But I'm not you. And obviously, if you're treating me like shit, you must be getting treated like shit. Or maybe you're being neglected at home. I'm not sure what. Maybe you're being abused at home and you're trying to distract everybody and deflect your pain and your trauma by making fun of me and ruining my life. But that shows your weakness. And me helping you up right now shows my strength. Turn the other cheek. Mic drop. People think that being a kind and good person is a weakness. It is not a weakness. War, killing people, fighting, destroying each other's names, destroying each other's households. That's a weakness. That is lack of self-control, abusing your family, hitting them, touching them inappropriately, not having boundaries. That is a weakness. Manipulating, coercive control, emotional abuse, financial abuse, spiritual abuse. That's a weakness. You have no self-control, so you have to try and control other people with your fuck shit. Well, fuck you. Said with love in my heart. Go fuck yourself. You are not taking away my peace. No matter what you physically do, even in a group of people, no matter what you physically do to me, you are not taking my peace. I don't care if you try to take my life. I don't care if you do take my life. You're still not taking my fucking peace. And my love. And my authenticity. You cannot take any of those things from me. My wealth comes from my truth, and my truth resides within myself. This is how you protect yourself from the fuck shit. This is how you protect yourself from spiritual attacks. When somebody assaults you or treats you like garbage, and you retaliate with hate or fear or anger or whatever in your heart, you are basically canceling it out. They hit you, you hit them, you're canceling it out. Let them get their karma. Because when you do something, it has a ripple effect in the universe. And I don't care if your bully is a billionaire in the future. You bet your ass their heart is so broken. And so is their soul. Doesn't matter if they've got all the material wealth in existence. None of it matters if you're not happy. Now that's real torture. You tortured me for years. You made billions off the backs of hurting others. You will never be happy. Not truly. Not deeply. You will never be spiritually clean and healed and peaceful within. You would have to take copious amounts of substances just to function. And if you're a fucking psychopath, sociopath, well, that's a punishment all on its own, because that means somebody did you so much harm that they have taken your ability to feel away from you. And that's a fate worse than death. And I feel sorry for people like that. High Priestess, 9 of Swords. I am telling you what I see. Just because somebody is abusing and in charge on the outside doesn't mean they're not a tortured child on the inside. 9 times out of 10, when people come at me sideways, I don't know if you guys have ever noticed when I did have trolls, they've all disappeared for some reason. I mean, I'm not trying to jinx myself, but I kind of miss my little bantering butt buddies. Right? But, I don't know if you've ever noticed how I handle them. Okay? You got someone coming at you, you don't come at them sideways. You don't really have to. You don't really even need to block them most of the time. You know what I mean? You don't have to do that. Hold on. This is a reading. This isn't... You don't even really have to do that. A lot of times, whatever they're saying to you is what they're struggling with. I don't know if you noticed, but they come at me and they say, you look old, or you look fat, or you're broke, or you have no talent, or whatever, right? 9 times out of 10, that's what they're struggling with. Well, I'm sorry, you don't love yourself. Maybe you don't feel adequate with how you look. Maybe you're struggling with your weight. Maybe you're too skinny or too fat or whatever, but I can always tell what's going on with somebody based on what they do to others, because they're externalizing an internal trauma. You're just a fat bitch. Is that how you feel about yourself? Is that what's been said to you? And then you could turn around and help them heal that trauma. Instead of turning around and saying, well, I know you are, but what am I? Like, instead of doing all that, you just say, look, whoever called you a fat bitch is wrong. And it's not okay. And I'm sorry that was said to you. Clearly it's not been said to me. Well, clearly it has been said to you if you think that that's what you need to call other people, if that's what you're focused on. Because I don't care if you think I'm fat, nor do I give a shit if you think I'm a bitch. And honestly, I embrace both of those. What is it? Adjectives? Technically, I guess bitch could be an adverb. Describing an action verb, an action word. Bitchy attitude. Attitude being the action. I don't know. I'm just fucking around. But, spiritually protecting yourself is not just about, lighting good smelling incense, which is also very nice and fun. Lighting candles, saying your prayers, right? Saying your affirmations, doing your meditations, right? Spiritual baths with beautiful flowers make your skin smell lovely, and it's all wonderful and wonderful stuff to do, right? You should do all of these things. Writing your dreams and prayers on little cards and burning them in the moonlight, and that's all beautiful physical representation of a spiritual manifestation. It's all beautiful. It's the DVD case that protects the DVD. The DVD on the inside is how you speak to yourself, how you speak to others, how you think about yourself, how you think about others. how you act toward yourself, how you act toward others. Do you protect yourself? Do you protect others? Or do you hurt yourself? Or do you hurt others? This is something you need to be conscious of, right? And then the third layer that really puts the nice fence around your yard, your spiritual yard, is going above and beyond, especially when you don't have to. Especially when it's hard to do. You know? Being kind when you're in a position of power over your oppressor is such a mind fuck. Not only am I stronger than you because I am out of your grip, but I'm also stronger than you in terms of being able to have self-control and not be a dick back to you. I don't need to be a dick like you do because I have self-control. All these grown-ass adults killing each other, starting wars, ripping apart families, beating their wives, degrading their husbands, sexually abusing their children, stealing from their elderly. These are all weak people that will turn into twisted demonic energies if they do not change the direction of where they're headed. A lot of these people who do harm have had harm done to them. So they feel justified in how they hurt other people because they have been hurt. And when you are kind, or at least show some semblance of mercy to someone who knows they don't deserve it, some sense of humanity to somebody who's acting like a fucking animal on fucking rabies, that has rabies, on rabies, that has rabies, right? Spiritual rabies. And you're compassionate to them. You could beat the shit out of them, but instead you put them in a spiritual cage where they can't hurt themselves or others, and you give them, you know, a comfortable place until, you know, because when you have rabies, you're gonna die. Like when you have spiritual rabies, you're setting yourself up for failure. But, you know, there's compassion even in dealing with something that is inevitable. Just because somebody's on death row doesn't mean you kick them and punch them and treat them like garbage. You can still feed them every day, give them clean sheets, make sure they have, you know, reading materials or whatever, and show them at least a little bit of kindness before they're gone. Because chances are, if they're on death row, they weren't shown kindness either as a child or as an adult, which led to whatever behavioral issues they're having. Sometimes kindness is reflected in setting boundaries with people. Sometimes people are douchebags because they've never been told no. And the boundaries haven't been set. No, you don't get your toys if you're not cleaning up after yourself. I'm giving you warning, warning, warning. Now all your toys are getting put up and you don't get to play with them. This is all, these are all luxury items, sir or ma'am. These are not, having a phone is a luxury. It is not a right. And they're trying to turn it into a right, and it's not. And the things that are human rights, like clean water, shelter, clothing, food, just basics to function in society, a clean bathroom, a bathroom to use, a little bit of human decency. Apparently, you know, not everybody is entitled to that. But, you know, a cell phone, everyone is entitled to a cell phone, even a 10-year-old. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. So, see, you can talk shit about things that are not okay in society. You can point out things that are wrong and bad that you find illogical or immoral or unethical. You can talk about these things. I'm not saying you just sit there with your mouth closed and you just smile and you try to just be like, perfect. There's no perfection in reality, okay? We're not robots. What I am saying is don't go out of your way to make it worse for yourself and for others. Life is hard enough. You don't have to make it worse. Keep your fucking hands to yourself unless somebody requests that you put your hands on them. Right? Hey, I'm a consenting adult and you're a consenting adult. If you're interested, I'm interested. You're not interested? Okay, no problem. I'll keep moving. You are interested? Hell yeah. Let's get it on, But if somebody says no, you have no right to put your hands on them. Have some self-fucking control. People think they're the biggest and the baddest because they can lay hands on somebody who's not consenting to it. You want to get in a fight? Join a fucking boxing gym, you dumbass. Don't go beating on your wife and kids. Don't go beating on your husband and your parents. You piece of shit. Join a fucking gym. Get into fucking karate and do tournaments and shit. Then you can hit people, and when the buzzer rings to finish, then you stop. But if you can't control yourself, you are not... Having people in your life is not a right. It's a luxury to have people around you. And if you treat them poorly, you deserve to face consequences. And if someone treats you poorly, you have every right to get yourself out of that situation. And if you're stuck, you have every right to defend yourself and defend those around you and speak up for yourself and speak up for those around you. Well, we can't go anywhere, so I'm just going to let him continue to abuse my children. No! I'm telling you, if you are a decent human being, and even if, a lot of times, even if you're not a decent human being, okay, there are nets, safety nets. If you allow yourself to fall to the bottom, now I know a lot of people don't like this advice, but if you are homeless, there are homeless services. If you leave an abusive situation and you run away with your children, there are women and children's shelters. You go to your local church, even if you're not religious. I'm sorry, I'm not religious, but I don't know where else to go. Do you know of anywhere for women and children's shelters? 9 times out of 10, usually they know where to go. And if they don't, they can point you to somebody who does. Go to a food bank. They could tell you. A lot of these services are interconnected. They're intertwined. They can help move you and get you to a safe place. If you are broke as shit and you have nowhere to go and you got your kids, it is better to go to the services, go to the churches. We demonize these days. Religion is demonized because people have used religion to hurt one another, control them, manipulate them. But the true form and purpose of those organized groups is to promote morality, compassion, a helping hand. And a lot of them still do that. They just don't advertise it because it's not about advertising. It's about just doing the bare bones minimum, being a decent human being. They shouldn't have to advertise being a good person. Everybody should just be able to function. But these days, actually almost all days in fucking history, people can't fucking act right. They can't control themselves. But that doesn't mean that we have to allow that negativity to infect us like spiritual rabies. Because when we do, we make ourselves weak to spiritual attacks. If I was even slightly weaker than I am now, there's strong possibility sometimes that shit works, and not in a good way, right? Someone attacks you and it fucking does the job. They spiritually or psychologically or verbally assault you or assault your character. And if you're not crossing your T's spiritually and dotting your I's and being a decent human being, it'll work. It doesn't matter how many of those people went to those diddler parties or those Epstein parties or the island or whatever that weren't douchebags, right? Some of these people going along because their wives or husbands or, and it's just a party and they're being seen because everybody's being seen there, and then they go home. And then decades later, there's pictures surfacing of them hanging out at a place where they were just there for the party. And they're like, what the fuck? Now, if you do not put yourself in a situation, right, where someone can take a picture of you, then it's never even a discussion in the first place. Don't be worried about fitting in with everybody else, right? Be worried about yourself and your own spiritual cleanliness. And even if some of these people did go to these parties, they didn't do any of the fuck shit in the back room. So yeah, you have a picture of me in a white dress at a party, but I'm fully clothed, and there's no videos of me doing fuck shit because I never did the fuck shit. I went to a fucking party, I showed my face, I took a picture, and I went home like a normal human being. I don't know about all the fuck shit because I don't participate in it. So even if you were at the party and you could have been set up, they couldn't have. That's all you got? You got a picture of me smiling at a party? Do you have anything else of me? No. Okay, yeah, because I don't do fuck shit. How do you spiritually protect yourself from fuck shit? You don't do fuck shit. And the affirmations and the prayers and the spiritual baths, they all help you manifest that energy, that good, clean energy. They're addition to, they are not in place of. It's not like you go around and fuck with people and then you take a spiritual bath and go, oh, I'm good. Nobody can hurt me. I set a spell and I put ruins all over the house and I'm protected. It's like, well, if you're being a douchebag, that shit has no meaning. It's not going to protect you. Right? So these people that hurt you, I'm telling you, they're struggling and they're hurting themselves. The diddler man, his mama is a sexual predator. Not all predators are men. Some predators are fucking women. And his mama is a sexual fucking predator, man. Crossing lines with your children in that way is disgusting. Once your kids know how to wipe their own asses and take their own showers, you have no business seeing or touching their body for any reason. When they're little and they're potty training and you're teaching them, this is how you wipe your ass. This is how you go to the potty. This is, okay. When they're little and they're learning how to take a bath or a shower, okay, here, this is how you clean yourself. This is how you use a towel. This is how you use soap. And when they say, okay, I got this, Elijah is starting to close the door now when he goes to the potty, which is fabulous news. That means he can get up on the toilet, he can go potty, he can flush the toilet. He still has trouble wiping his ass, so I help him sometimes. Oh, did you wipe? And he's honest about it. I help him wipe his ass, but pretty soon that's not even necessary. Once he knows how to take off his clothes, he's not going to even need me to help him. And once he can open the shower door, he knows how to do everything else. He's almost to the point where there is no reason for me to have to interfere with him. People need boundaries. Now, if there's somebody who has a disability and you need to help them all throughout their life, then you help them all throughout their life. But it needs to be kept clear. I am helping you wipe your ass. I'm helping you take a shower. That's it. There's no weird energy. There's nothing. Boundaries. Self-control. Well, somebody touched me. Okay, but that doesn't give you the right to touch anybody else, you fucking weirdo. Well, I can't help who I love. Yeah, but you can help you can help keeping your hands to yourself. Just because you love somebody doesn't mean they love you back. Just because you want to touch a small child doesn't mean they want to be touched. So go fuck yourself. See? You can have aggression. You can stand your ground. You can be protective. You can set boundaries with people. Being a good person doesn't mean you walk around and smile and shit fucking Skittles and rainbow lollipops or whatever. Being a good person is not always being kind, right? Sometimes being a good person is not being kind. Sometimes being a good person is seeing somebody abusing somebody else, pushing them off, and calling the fucking cops. Hey, this motherfucker was beating on this person. I pushed them off, but I'm calling you to let you know that there's still a possibility this person's going to come back. And if they come at me, I'm telling you right now, I'm going to defend myself. Being a good person doesn't always mean, oh, he didn't, I can't get involved. I can't get involved. Well, you know what? That actually makes you a shitty person because you're not standing up for what's right. Okay? Doing your shadow work. Doing your shadow work. Okay? Is not embracing your darkness to be a dick. Doing your shadow work is feeling your way through your pain, processing that pain, and using that pain to not only protect yourself, but to protect others. You know what? I was hurt as a child, or I was hurt in college, or I was, this happened to me, or that happened to me. And that not only is not going to happen to me again, but if I see somebody else going through it, I'm going to speak up and I'm going to say something. That's that's the Nine of Wands. That's that strength. And this energy is what protects you from spiritual attack. Even if you find yourself in a pickle, it's not nearly as bad of a pickle if you would have had really dirty energy. If your energy was really dirty, then whatever they were throwing at you would have been multiplied by probably 10. But if you can keep your side of the street clean, even if what they do to you is like ironclad, fuck your life over shit, they still can't destroy your heart. They still can't destroy your soul. And they can't destroy your mind unless you allow it. They can tell you every day that you're a fucking retard. You don't have to accept that brainwashing shit. Is it difficult to protect yourself from? For sure. That's why devil energy is usually reflective and it's mental. It's a mental attack. Can you protect yourself from the mental attack? I know I'm a good person. I know I didn't do that. You could lock me up for eternity and my story doesn't change because the reality of the situation doesn't change. I'm a good person. I help people whether I'm incarcerated or not incarcerated. I help people whether I'm free or whether I'm not free. I help people whether I'm being treated poorly or being treated well. Because I am a good person and you don't get to control that. They can control their perception. They can try to control the physical reality of things. But you control your soul. Even if they do have your mind, even if they do have your heart, you got your soul. And you focus on pushing that energy into your soul and emanating it out. They cannot break you. They cannot break your soul if you do not allow it. You know, I've been catching up on all those supernaturals because I'm excited about the new season coming out, and I want to just, know what I want to be up to date. You have to invite an angel in. You have to be susceptible for a demon to come into your body. If you have warding on yourself and you protect yourself, they can't come in. How do you ward yourself? Tattoo a symbol on your body? Okay. But that's a physical representation of a spiritual activity. And that spiritual activity stems from not being a douchebag. Right? And standing up to people who are douchebags. See something, say something. You know? If you see somebody abusing somebody else and you call the cops and you rat them out, you're not being a snitch. You're being a hero. Now, if you're abusing somebody and you call the cops on somebody else who's being abusive, well, then you're a fucking hypocrite and you are a snitch. You know? Like if you go and rob a bank with somebody else and then you call the cops on the other person who robbed the bank, well, then you're a fucking snitch. But if you're calling out abuse and you're seeing abuse going on, you're not a fucking snitch. You're a hero. And everyone going on about the Diddy people, oh, they're all snitches. No, they're heroes. Because these monsters need to be fucking locked away. They can't self-control and self-regulate. They need to be regulated and controlled by a fucking box. Until they can fucking learn how to play nice with others. And some of these folks, they'll never want to play nice with others, so they should never be released out of a box. We have prisons to protect everyone, including the person who's doing harm. You know? Hold on. Okay, I gotta go. I'll talk to you guys later.